Hello, and welcome back to hopefully the part before last, part 5. We'll see how it goes, but we're getting pretty far when it comes to the drawing itself. We kind of got the base colors done, kind of the past few streams, as well as the line art with Kiara and Callie. And we're kind of just now gonna be working on the rest of the cast. So next up would be Gura, then we'll tackle Amelia, then Ina, and then we'll circle back around and we'll start doing everything else when it comes to shading and all that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully this is gonna be the last part. We have some more work to do, but I don't think we're gonna be spending that much more time. We kind of had a little bit of a setback before, but I think at this point we kind of don't have much left to do. So yeah, I think we just need to dive into it, try and get this done by the end of the week, and then call it a day. I merged the wrong layer, because I'm a dink. Try this again. There we go. There we are. Do the same here. And I think what we're gonna try and do is just try and not have paint tool side die today, because we had it die yesterday. Having a bunch of references up probably doesn't help. So we're gonna try and not have my memory die for paint tool side today, because it likes to consume it like candy. So all we're gonna do is just make a new layer, like always, and jump on into it. You need to find a quick reference picture for Gura. And I think we have the perfect one right here. Perfect. All right, let's get a new layer up here real quick. Give this a good old trim. And once again, bring this over here. Just start working and start working. So I think the biggest thing with Gura that we're gonna probably do that'll be the most time consuming is doing the hair. That's kind of like her little signature thing. It's like the almost toothpaste like hair. But I think after that, hey, how you doing, Kirito? I think after that, we don't really have much to do. So I think overall her design's pretty simplistic. It's adorable, but simplistic. So it should be generally pretty easy. I say that now. We said that yesterday, and it didn't work out too well. So why don't we just go ahead and get started before I start rambling on. But how are you all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. We're on part 5. Hopefully, like I said, the part before last. I'm hoping anyways. I don't know if we'll have to do the entire process. Man, I need to do some circles real quick because I'm just struggling today. I can already feel it. I hope you're all doing well. I don't think we'll do the entire thing when it comes to the shading, because once you kind of get like the idea of what I do for shading down, we're kind of at a standstill. In which it was just be me rambling on and on and on and on. So I think we'll just kind of see what we're at. I think we'll see what we're at. I did work on a few things off stream, mainly just because I want to get stuff done. We kind of struggled a little bit with Callie's eyes last week, or not last week. What am I talking about? Yesterday. So kind of fixed those a little bit off stream just because we took up so much time already prior, and to be honest, I didn't want to take up more time. And then kind of want to also try and get this done in a timely fashion, and kind of working on it off stream kind of gives me some more, I wouldn't say food for thought, but definitely gives me a faster work ethic. Kind of have to get used to drawing while being watched. So, but I think everything else, because I think we might also kind of begin the question of, oh wow, sorry. I think we might begin the question of what we want to do when it comes to, what's what I'm looking for the bottom portion of the portrait. Well, if it's doing a title or doing something like just a little bit more like stream specific for like each and every individual member. I think we'll see. We might start that and like have like some conversation revolving around it, but I think again, there'll be something we just do off stream just to kind of get my schedule cleared back up, because we have been taking up a lot of time with this. I kind of also want to start working on another project, but like I said, if I keep streaming this, it's going to take a little bit longer just because I kind of take more time. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm not fully concentrating, but I'm definitely kind kind of, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what word I'm looking for. I'm a little scatterbrained today. Not too sure why. It's just one of those days. So bear with me here as I maybe find my rhythm. But like I said, hope you guys are all doing well. It's possibly the beginning of the weekend for some of you, or it is getting close to be the weekend. So what if it's afternoon, morning, or night? Hope you're all doing good. I hope you guys also eaten. I know we always talk about food. We always talk about food when we start a stream. It's a habit of mine. I think it's just because I'm always hungry. This tummy's always making the grumblies. I don't know. I think it's more when I draw too. When I draw, I tend to get the grumbly wumblies. I'm not too sure why. But for those of you who are also keeping up with the HoloLive EN, I think it's tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. A little bit later. I think it's a lot later because they're going to a different time zone. But there's a collab, I believe, with Amelia, Gouda, and Muna from the HoloLive Indonesia branch. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Gouda and Amelia are visiting the JP server, and Muna's kind of gonna be their tour guide, which is really cool. So I'm not too sure if that's tonight. I think it's tonight, as of this recording or streaming. Whatever you want to classify it as. But I think that's gonna be fun. I might get off early to watch that, so we might not go for the full 4 hours. In which case, I probably might work on this while I watch the stream. Just because I kind of want to see their reaction to the JP server, all the blown up Yagos and stuff. So I'll be very interested to see how everything goes. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, bless me. I didn't have time to mute. Came out too quick. So I think the only thing with Gouda really that's the most, like I said, the complicated thing with her is just her hair is so wild. I think that's really the only thing that's complex, like takes some time. Because everything else is pretty smooth lines, nothing too I wouldn't say anything too crazy. It's just a lot of smooth lines, a lot of nothing too boxy or too detailed. I mean, you have the little shark in the center, the little shark mouth, yeah. But I mean, other than that, it's not too not a lot of folds in the clothing, not a lot of patches and stuff like that, or any kind of colors that kind of merge together. It's generally pretty straightforward. Like I said, the only kind of thing that's complex is her hair, in both coloring and kind of line art. But I mean, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. You have to have a complex design. Ina, for a great example. I mean, you could consider that her hair isn't also something that's much like Gouda's. It's just very, very detailed, but it also has its own little unique twist, much like how Gouda has her little unique twist with hers. So I think it's very cool. I think all the designs for the EN branch did a fantastic job. I think they all have their own very unique character that kind of speaks to how they are and their streaming style and stuff. So I think they all did great. The only thing I don't like is, Watson, why the hell do you have so many freaking patterns on your stuff? Your hair, I mean, your hat has a pattern, your dress has a pattern. Granted, it's a pattern that can be easily replicated, but goddamn, so much patterns. My perfectionist brain has to have that pattern be perfect and match. I think that's my problem, it's me. Maybe, I don't know. So all we're just doing is trying to get these bangs to flow the way we want them to, and not be super blocky, because that's the only thing you have to worry about when it comes to. I might do it like this. It is the central bang. That looks good. The only thing we have to worry about is it being too blocky looking, because the fact is it doesn't kind of come off as points or anything. Besides specific points, it's just most of it's flat cut, you took you took basically a scissors to the bangs, you know, just cut it in a straight line. So you don't want to make it look like blocky. We still want it to look like it's hair and that like it's flowing in a specific direction. Maybe bring this up a little bit, like so. The only thing with Gouda's design is that I noticed at the top of the head, like here, right? Doesn't have a lot of how do I word it? A lot of parting for the hair. So like with like the hair follicles, like kind of like this here, right? So like say if you have like your hair up here, it kind of goes down and like it parts like that. There's not like a lot of that for the top portion of her hair. It's mostly right now just kind of flat, and I think the reason why is because it was just done when the modeling was done. Because if you look at it, like where like the kind of parts in the hair stop is like where the shark hoodie begins. So I think to save most likely maybe like render kind of time, and also you know less detail in specific areas, the less it's taxing on the computer, obviously. I think it was done that way to kind of preserve that. But I mean, we can always add in lines ourselves. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Not too much of an artist liberty if you just add in a few lines just for some detail, kind of match the other girls. If we left it flat, it looked kind of weird. Like even like with Callie, what we did is like see her hair is relatively straight for Callie. Like it's like very straight detailed and stuff like that. But what we kind of did to counteract that is just make some slight little breaks in the hair or something like that, just to kind of draw your eye towards it, and that's not like looks like one giant solid like Barbie hair block that you snap onto like a Lego, you know? So we just want to have some natural flow, like it looks like there's like dimensions to it and stuff. The fact that her hair comes out to a point, I want to make sure it doesn't look like you can jab your eye out, but that it's pointed. Granted, it's also an anime kind of style, so it's not really that bad if it's a little pointy. Also, another news, so we have the collab with the JP team. Kiara had her stream kind of little collab, little karaoke, which was really cool. The Disconnect song was fantastic. And I believe that they're also doing Among Us. I think it's tomorrow. With the 5th Gen girls from the JP branch. And that sounds exciting. I'm kind of hyped about that. So I think it'd be kind of cool, to be completely honest with you. It's also cool that, Ian's kind of spreading out at this point. I'm kind of glad that they are, because I think the one thing I think a lot of things that a lot of people were afraid of, like fan-wise, was how the EN branch is gonna kind of react to the Indonesian and the Japanese, branch portion of the HoloLive. Because if you have like a language barrier, how the viewer is gonna keep up, stuff like that. But I think like when Kiara did her stream, she did a very good job. Kind of like translated like the most like need to know parts, but also you have like the fan translations and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure even Coco, she actually does like subtitles for her own videos for English. So I think there's always workarounds, but I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that they're being included. So anyways, off that tangent, we can try and just touch this up a little bit. Few lines here and there. We don't want to like be identical to the other side. We kind of want some individuality, but we don't want it to be super different, if that makes sense. I want some similarities, like that, and then we can. This kind of goes up a little bit more. I think it's actually fine where it is. We can bring it up just a little bit. We kind of that like a little dip in the hair here. May not have to go in as deep as I draw it as deep. Can't really go around that. We kind of want it to kind of go like a little bit of a hump and then kind of goes down like that. There we go, perfect. Kind of have the hair being tied. Oh god, Discord message. Get that out. Get that out of here. I can't see my reference. I'll look at it later. So one thing I don't like about Discord is that the freaking notification pops up. It's like right in the center of your screen. It's like, I can't see what I'm doing. Get out of here. I'm pretty sure I turned them off, but for some reason they stay on. I don't know. I don't know. Discord's a mysterious being. All right, so we have the little shark thingies. I think what we'll do for the eyes, we won't color them in. Like we see like how we did with the rough sketch. We won't color them in like that at all. We'll just kind of leave them for when we do the base colors. I'll just do the teeth here. You want to try and keep it the same, because I think we kind of spent a good amount of time on these to make them look fine. And it usually has two at the bottom. I'll make sure it doesn't look too like lopsided or anything like that. And maybe take away the bottom layer real quick, just to see how it looks. I think we're looking good. I think I did notice this right here, so we can get rid of that real quick. Perfectamundo. All right, do like the little tiny pigtails she got. Wow. I think the only complication we'll really have with Watson is going to be those the little gear hairpin that she has. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. That's all I'm gonna say. That's gonna be a pain in the tush. Because that's a lot of small detail. And when you're doing like such a large portrait like this, that small details kind of gets lost and kind of looks like a jumbled mess. So I think what we'll do the same thing we did with our line art, our rough art. And we will just kind of do like the little circles. Have like the big main piece be the gears, because that's like the biggest portion, right? But I think for like the little tiny ones, we'll just leave them as circles, just to kind of like free up the space. I am getting YouTube link after YouTube link in Discord. I have no idea what is going on. I can't see. Not that it matters right now, but I can't see. I think we'll actually make this full screen, just to kind of free up my space here. We don't actually need it fully at this point for colors, and I think we're gonna make this a little simpler. I'm gonna just create a new layer, and we're just gonna do this just to kind of keep things progressing quickly. I do not want to stall us any longer here. We're already somewhat behind, so want to make up for some lost time. All right, so do this here. You're getting kicked or anything? I'm not too sure, man. I don't know how you want me to help you with that, Abstract. Maybe YouTube setting? Check your YouTube settings. See if that's maybe why you get kicked. Could have been put like some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, well, I mean, I don't take commissions at all. I kind of just draw my free time, but, it could be maybe what you're trying to have them draw is something not within their forte. But always keep that in mind, because some artists have limits, especially when it comes to, depending on the artwork, of course. Like, let's say, for example, oh, I'm not too sure then. Well, I guess just look for the person who can do the commission. I mean, there's some Reddit kind of threads and stuff that have people on there who, you know, want to do artwork or requesting artwork for commissions that artists usually check to attend. Or I'm just waiting for people to waste my time. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would check Reddit though if you're looking to have someone do a commission, because they do have like Reddit threads and stuff that have people who are kind of check that regularly for commission work and stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, sometimes too, it just depends on the artwork that you want done. Not everyone has specializations. Like, I don't do like animals or anything like that, or I'm not very good at it, so I don't want to do it for people. Oh, then I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to help you. There's a lot of places though. Look online. I quick Google search for help. You can also just, I mean, let's be honest, Tumblr's full of artists and DeviantArt and stuff like that. So a lot of people who have who post artwork frequently usually have like commissions and stuff. So you can always check that out. Like I said, keep in mind too, you know, not everyone can accept it because sometimes it's not within their forte and all that kind of stuff. So like some people don't like doing NSW stuff, you know. Some people just want to do some wholesome stuff. Other people don't like the anime style. So I'm all set with animals. I just don't like drawing them personally. I usually try to avoid it, but I mean, technically I'm kind of drawing an animal, right? Because Guru's kind of a shark. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, no, when you're looking for commissions, just look for the artists that you like and see what their kind of general forte is and all that kind of stuff. And then go from there. Because usually what artists like is usually what they post the most of. So, you know, if they post a lot of style that you're looking for, then go ahead and give a reach out to them. Be like, hey, looking for you to draw me something. Keep in mind, you know, sometimes they're just too busy. Like the reason why I don't do any kind of commissions or anything like that is because A, I don't feel like I'm good enough to do commissions yet. And B, I just don't have time. You know, with school and got this going on and then editing the speed art videos and stuff. So start with wolves. That's fair, actually. I've heard that a few times. Start with dogs, start with wolves. Very angular like animals. Horses too, I've heard as well. I heard that those are kind of the easiest things to start. I'm not too sure why, but it's an interesting concept. I think we're good. So go ahead, slap that down there. I don't know why we're on a different layer. That's probably because I did something over here. Man, I don't know where to like begin with Gouda here. I think we'll just begin with the sleeves, and we'll go to the hands, and we'll kind of work our way inwards. That way, if we make any kind of changes, we can kind of modify the center bit. Why do we do the hand? I'm just like flying by my seat of my pants for this one. Oh, that's good. Oh, did I misread it? I'm sorry if I misread it. I'm kind of like, I'll be kind of honest. I'm kind of like half reading chat. Mainly because it's just I want to focus too much on it. I mean, if you're looking to have your own kind of things for commission put out there, like I said, you have like Reddit posts and stuff. Like I said, people usually go to Tumblr, DeviantArt and stuff, so you can always make an account there with like your commission fees and all that kind of stuff. That's usually very popular. Twitter's the same as well. Twitter's a playground for that kind of stuff. So, oh, they kicked you? Well, I don't know. Usually if they kick you from something, they would tell you. So maybe look at the reason why. Maybe you're too aggressive with your posts, or fees just weren't good. Or maybe it was comments or the content that you had. I'm not too sure. Those sites work in mysterious ways. So, yeah. Well, usually the snouts are pretty easy, yeah. The place that I struggle the most is the fur aspect. I can draw like the body of the animal and stuff, but when I want to do fur like a specific kind of way, have like dimension wise and stuff, instead of having me just like, you know, I take this and I colored it and I like shade it. You know, it goes past like kind of a scratchy effect to make it look like fur. Like I want like actual like layers. I think an artist I saw did it very well. I forget what her name was though, but she did like a little tutorial on it. It's something I wanted to try out myself in my own free time, because something I thought was really cool and kind of like what I was looking for when it came to that kind of stuff. So, I forget what her name was. It's like a Wendigo something. Her profile. Also does like really disturbing horror art, which is awesome. Yeah, no, yeah, like that's like this. I call that the scratchy approach for the fur. Is starting like with lines. So like, let's say for example, like you just do the fur and like you kind of just do like lines that kind of like go off in different directions and stuff. Like I just call it the scratchy approach because it's like that's how I imagine it being. Just because I call like, let's say like really messy kind of rough art or rough like line art that I do scratchy. So I kind of like have it like in the same category in my brain. So you know, I don't know. That's probably something I definitely do need to work on, though. I do want to do more animals. I kind of did some for the profile picture that I have, but with the cats, it kind of worked out a little bit better because like they have different kind of coats and sections for it and stuff. So really, the lines weren't necessary to kind of show like the dimensions in the fur. It would have added to it, definitely, but it wasn't like a necessary thing. Ocean Man. So. Or it's the Yoshi Man. I'm not too sure. Alright, get the thumb here. The line's a little wonk. Let's fix that. Oh. We'll kind of get this finger here at last. We're just going to delete the little outskirts of it. And get the fingernail in there, like always. Usually I don't do this if they don't have colored fingernails, but again, something I kind of want to work on myself. She does like have like actual fingernails. We check. I think I think they actually like grew out, and they're not just like, yeah, they're still like, they're like a little sharpened. So kind of want them, or a little extended out. So you don't want just like hugging it, because I know that Amelia's for hers are just nails. They're nothing like super fancy. Gouda's kind of come out a little bit. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. The hands was the biggest thing I struggled with. I still struggle with feet. Feet is the biggest thing. Even after all these years, feet is the most hated thing that I can ever draw in the world. So that's usually why I never do. I think I haven't done like a bare foot in almost like a few months. I've always done shoes and stuff. I'm also like a huge perfectionist. So as you can tell by me redoing lines over and over again. So yeah, with feet, man, doing toes, I'm not too sure. I think actually, you know what? I lied. Recent artwork I haven't released yet. I'm kind of waiting on finish. That one has toes in it. That was a rough experience. And I think this part gets cut off by the border that we have for her, so we're just gonna go ahead and just draw it on down like that. And again, gonna do the same thing here. Just kind of draw down. We can always like erase it afterwards, much like we did with Kiara and Callie earlier on. There we are. So we kind of got this going on. Kind of do a quick rotate check. Make sure everything looks good. Yep. All right. Gonna go back here. I think we begin like this part of the side of the chest, and then kind of work our way over. Because this part of the hand actually doesn't like really affect anything because it's so far out there. So I think we can just work on the chest now. Now I kind of see like where our end point is. And kind of keep it going. So what we can do is get the teeth in here. Bring it on upwards. And after this, we'll get our basic colors in. We'll get her eyes done. We should probably need to find another reference photo for it, just because I know that there's a better one out there. I've had like the eyes like fully zoomed in. It's like I know that hers are a little bit more, I want to say complex than the other girls, but they definitely have a lot going on the inside. I know it's like multiple rings and multiple kind of colors mixed in. So kind of want to have that nice like close-up reference. But we'll get everything else done first, and we'll tackle the eyes last. And then we'll move on to Amelia to kind of get the whole line art done. Same thing, colors and eyes. And then we'll go to Ina, and we'll circle back on around and get our shading done, which shouldn't take too long, because we're not going to go super in depth with the shading. I want to keep it light, not too detailed. You know, these can also be PNGs, so I don't want the PNG to be super big. Plus, it's already pretty huge anyways, so I don't want the JPEG to be even more. That and hard lighting and stuff right now with this kind of like setup that we have going on won't work. But I do like some brief like touches of light, like maybe like a little bit of like glisten on the skin. But I think we'll leave like maybe some dark gradients like underneath the shoulders and like along like the body, like that should be shaded. We won't go like super deep into it. I think we'll just kind of keep it like very basic. Alright, I just want to check to see how those teeth go. A little too curved. Let's find out those curves. Gonna keep it all going here. That one's a little bit too curved for my liking, so we're just gonna go ahead and erase the line leading up to that. like so. There we go. A little bit more flat. And then just draw the side here. Whoosh, whoops, whoosh. So it kind of has like its own like inner layer. Imagine that's like kind of hugs the body a little bit tighter. All right. So this is like kind of the outskirt here. So this is like where the drool would be. I just realized we draw this backwards. Oh, we're inverted. Doy. I'm an idiot. Actually, let's leave that inverted. Let's take a quick look to make sure it looks good. Okay, yeah, we're good. A little bit easier for me to draw it like this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the line. We'll actually erase the line on the inside. You wanna make it look like it's like one cohesive thing, right? Do a little bit of the slobber here. So it doesn't look like it's like really like wavy or anything. It just looks like it's just kind of tacked on there, like so. It kind of comes down like this. Do a little bit of a loop here. And then comes down again like so. Now we can just delete the line on the inside. Before it looked like it was like a little disconnected with our rough sketch. We kind of leave this here to show like it kind of like overlaps on the inside, like how it does on there a little bit. Do that nice little dimension. We have this big old zipper here. The zipper that is not a zipper, which I love. I love Neela's clothes design, it's so great. Bring this down here like that. A little bit less on the curve, because it doesn't look like it curves too much. Something like so. And we can go ahead and give it a quick rotate here. I think we'll do it on a separate layer, just in case. We'll just bring our line down. It kind of curves, so I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna go about halfway down. Like so. I don't want it too thick. That's good. Make sure it matches up. Yep. We kind of take our little line here and maybe curve it. Curve it. Curve it. If my hands want to actually work. All right, Abstract, you have a good day. All right. I think we're good here. We kind of touch up the lines that we kind of did. We have like casting couch music on right now. It reminds me of those like newfound games, you know what I'm talking about? Back in the day, got home from like high school, went to newgrounds.com, played a little stick figure game, whatever the heck it was called, with the little dudes who had circles for heads and circles for hands, but didn't have arms. What were they called? I completely forgot. Like the heads had little X's on them. I forgot what it's called. It was like this Newground animation game thing. I remember that. But I also remember like the royalty-free music people would use, and it's like sounded exactly like that track. It's great. All right, so kind of touch up the little lines here and there. Coming out good. A fire coming out pretty good. We just want to get like the stitches on here. Have it bend a little bit with the body because the body's kind of curving. So we kind of want to have it bend as well. And I think what we'll do that we didn't add in our previous rough sketch. So actually have these kind of like kind of loop around the side a little bit like that. Kind of show like they're like a little bit off the clothing. Like it's not like exactly on the clothing, but they're like a little bit above it, you know, like a little bit of a high rise. And it kind of adds like a little bit more of like that 3D kind of dimension to it, which is always nice. Especially like with it being just like this kind of one big solid color, we do kind of want to have like a nice little touches like that to kind of like give her the same kind of detail and kind of presence that, you know, all the other girls have, but they're a little bit more curvy, and I won't say curvy because it makes it sound like something different. What's what I'm looking for? More complex, I would say. Sign. I feel like saying complex is also like throwing like heavy shade when it's like not intended to. All right. I cannot think of a word that doesn't sound like I'm throwing like massive shade. So we're just gonna not say anything about it and just move on. I feel like this is a little bit too weird of a curl here, so we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing we just did before. I do that. That way I can kind of just move it around if I need to, without it looking all kind of gross from like a transform layer or anything like that. I think this is like more what we're looking for, yeah? We can actually have them like connect here, like so it kind of has like this nice like little seam. I think that's better. I like that little curve. Now we can have the sleeve kind of coming down from here instead, because I don't like how it came down from a little bit higher up. We kind of want to show how baggy her sleeves are, because she does have very baggy sleeves, right? I'm actually very interested, by the way, when it comes to their 3D models. So I know that Callie has her scythe, right? Ina has her tentacles. Watson has her telescope has her magnifying glass. And Kiara has her chicken wings, right? Or turkey legs. So my question is, when they get the 3D models, are they gonna have those? And if so, can they swim around? Because I want to see that stream if they do. That'd be pretty great. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of who also might have. So I know that Coco has a tail, right? So her tail kind of swings around and stuff. So I know that. I'm trying to think about who, if anyone, possesses an item. Oh, I know, God, I want to call her Lamb. I know that's not right. This is Lamb someone else. Watame. There we go. I had to rack my brain. I know that she has her little harp. So I have to look. I'm kind of curious now if the 3D model has that. I would imagine like it'd be kind of odd to track in an item like that, because usually it's just free-handed. Cause I'm pretty sure they use like kind of like an Oculus setup for like the girls. Somewhat similar like that, you know, like a augmented thing. They have like the little Joy-Cons that they use. I don't want to say Joy-Cons, but you know what I mean when I say that. You know, like the little motion tracky things. So I'm interested. I'm more interested. I'm always interested like in the inner workings of stuff like that. I think it's not like the inner artist in me kind of coming out. I think it's just more of like just my inner child of like, how does this work and how do I do it myself kind of thing. Not that I want to, but it's like just out of curiosity. It's like, how does this whole concept work here? You know, there's a 3D model thing. So I know that sometimes the 3D models, so like even like the facial recognition, right? Because like I'm very curious. Like I know it's like an app on a phone, right? It's kind of obvious at this point. Like it's not like it's hidden or anything. It's not like they try and hide that. But I'm curious how that corresponds with everything we see. You know, like do they have to have it like mounted in a specific way? How does it exactly work? How does the model kind of transfer onto the screen? I'm pretty sure it probably like transfers it by like a blue or green background that they have to like an OBS kind of hide. You know, do like the Gemuki and kind of hide it, which is basic. I think that's a very basic thing. But then like you look at like streams like Callie's stream, like that, for example, when her and Kiara played Minecraft, and Kiara could actually move around her model on the actual screen. Ina shrunk down her model on the stream when they had the giant Minecraft collab. So I'm curious what kind of software they use. I don't know if it's like I don't know, maybe it's like a shared kind of thing. I'm not too sure. I'm very interested in it, just to see like the inner workings of like how it all kind of works. I know that like OBS, right? You can set all that stuff up, but in how a person controls it who's not you, I'm very curious about. But that's just me. That's just my inner child and curiosity coming out. I know some people are also curious about it too. I think we're all relatively curious about what kind of things they use and how it all works. Granted, I bet more than just HoloLive uses those kind of programs. So I bet you could find something on the internet with a definite answer. I just never really dug into it. Never really went into the rabbit hole to find what I wanted. Yeah, because I'm too busy doing this. So I think we're looking good with the sleeve. Just kind of do this real quick, do invert check. Yeah, I think we're looking good. So I think what we'll do, we'll just kind of keep it on this side. Ooh, excuse me. And we'll just do the hands. Kind of, once again, do another layer, just because we're about to go over some line we already did. So the last thing we want is to mess that up by drawing over it. And in reality, we don't need it or need to delete a line, and then we're kind of stuck with it. And kind of the little nail come outwards again, like so. Get the little hand down here. Come on, hand, do your thing. There we go. I get that little palm indent going on. Not too sure why that one's there, not here. We'll do that now. There we go. I think we're good. One thing I was worried about was having like a little butt, but I think we're fine. I can't unsee it now, but I think we're good. Alrighty. Bring this down here and just connect the hand. Or the fingers, I would say. Get the little nails done. I think we'll extend out this nail just a little bit more. Also add like a bit of a curve to it. Kind of give it that little nice thing there. Whoopsie. Like so. Draw this here. Like that. There we go. I think we're looking good. And kind of draw little hands going on down. Little fingies. Maybe curl this up a little bit like so. So one thing I am curious about, since we kind of did talk about a little bit earlier today during like a little intro, since the girls are going to the JP server with Muna, I'm curious if anybody else is going to be on. Might run into Pekura, might say hi, do a quick prank on them, or somebody else. Who knows? I'm kind of curious. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked at all the JP girls' schedules. Keep in mind too, they can also just be offline and just be doing their own thing, because that's not foreign. I'll be interested though. I'll be interested to see if there's any kind of unexpected guests. I kind of want Pekura to be there though, because it'd be great to see a little prank. Like, welcome to the server. Here's my giant magma trap. I know that a lot of her stuff is there. You have like the slime pits, the XP farm. I'm pretty sure. I forget who died to the slime pits, but I remember seeing that. That was an interesting stream. And also very saddening to watch. It hurts losing all that kind of stuff. I forgot what else that Pekura did. I know that she did a lot of oh, she has the iron golem thing now that she ripped Joseph. RIP. Forget who else. But yeah, no, I've not to make a pun because of who we're talking about, but yeah, I'm fully down the rabbit hole at this point. Fully down the rabbit hole. I made my little burrow. Oh, we have a little thing going on here with the nail. Go ahead and hide this layer real quick. And we can go ahead and delete this part. So the nail's gonna go out to that. So we're just going to do nail. Draw it like so. Bring it on down. Bring it on across. Like so, like so. we go. All right, and bring that there. I think we're looking good, looking fancy, looking great, looking good. All right. I think we can just go ahead and delete the little things that overhang here. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. Looking very clean. And I think the next thing we're up to here is we're gonna just do the face. So I'm pretty sure Gouda's face is like it gets very rectangular and then like at the bottom. So what we're gonna fix what we had. We're gonna kind of make it a little bit more rectangular here. Make it like a straight line instead of that little curved line, right? This one we're not gonna be able to see. And then we'll make another layer just to be safe. We don't want like another Kali incident like how we had. And we'll just bring it on down like so. We're gonna try and follow our rough because we had problems with Gouda's face earlier. We kind of don't want them to repeat. I think what we'll do is like something like this.
It really does sound like quite a beautiful sound you get out of it. That's really something. It has a range to low A.
I'm gonna make another layer here. I got someone distracted by the song playing. Bring another layer down here like so. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and delete this real quick just to see how it looks. If it looks a little wonk, then we'll fix it. I think it's gonna look a little wonk. Looks a little weird, so I think what we'll do is we'll just invert that real quick. Let's see how it looks inverted. I think we're actually good. I think just the one thing we have to do is basically just connect these lines here. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete this portion here, like where it gets a little bit thinner and a little bit brighter, or a little bit lighter. We're gonna merge these two layers together because they're not touching right now, which is fine. And we'll kind of connect the two, right? Like so. And I give this a good flip. I have like that little straight edge here, like I was on there. We have the little curve. It is a little too flat though, so let's see if we can make it a little more curvy. You know, got a little bit more curls in there. Let's see. Even if it requires us to kind of move, it gets very curvy and it kind of just like edges out, so it's not like a pointy bottom, it's more like a round bottom. I think that's kind of what we're looking for. Jordan, it's the same line. Shh, lie. It's not the same line. Even though you're completely correct. So I think this is kind of like what we're doing here. So we're gonna have it like kind of straight, come on down like from the side. Oh, that's too curvy. Too much of a curve. Kind of like want it to be like down here. Either that or just what we had was fine. I just kind of ruined it. One or the other. But hey, that's the beauty of working on multiple layers. I think we're just going to try our best here. What? My brain cannot draw lines today. Come on, brain. There we go. Fuck. God damn. All right, gotta do something like that. We'll once again test it out after to see how it all kind of looks. See that? Okay, fine. You draw that one perfectly fine. It doesn't look right. There we go. Something like that. I keep that circular bottom like how we were talking about. It's not like a pointed bottom. It's more like a little like circular edge. We kind of delete this portion up here. And we kind of have this little portion kind of creep it inwards that we kind of want to get rid of. We kind of connect these two lines together. Again, we don't want them to overlap because then it kind of looks weird in the final line art. All right, let's go ahead and undo that. Looks a little out there, so why don't we try and move it around a little bit. Oh, hello, hand. I didn't realize you're part of this layer. How you doing? It is part of that layer. Interesting. I think if anything, we can kind of move it over like this. Bring up back the line art again. Like as you can see, like the mouth is here, right? So what we can do is just go ahead and move it up a little bit further and then have it connect. What? Or alternatively, we just have it go up a little bit higher like this, right? And then we just add in the little line ourselves. Gonna try and make sure it doesn't look too out of place, however. Be kind of natural looking. Slight. Why don't we... This is a brain teaser. Why don't we get rid of this? Because we're basically following the line here, right? So why don't we, instead of it changing around the kind of mouth and the chin and everything else like right now, why don't we first see what we want to do with all this stuff? I think we can merge in the hand layer if we already haven't done that. There we go. Okay, so we can take this line here and just follow what we had on the correct line, however. So let's do that real quick. There we are. I feel like we kind of solved the issue. I feel like it was just a slight little trick on the brain. Just sometimes happens when it comes to drawings. And we can go ahead and take our line art here. Complete this. I think we can go back up here. Yeah. There we go. Maybe a little bit more of a curl. I want that like little bit of a curl there to kind of show the angle that we're looking at. We'll get it eventually. There we go. It's the same exact thing, but don't worry about it, because we'll just fix it like this. Now it's a curl. We're just gonna go ahead and delete this line here to show that. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and draw the collarbone. Bam, 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 bam. It's a very angular collarbone. Very straight lines. No kind of curly curls or anything like that. So again, do a little collarbone there, do a little crissy-cross, like so. And then we can leave this patchwork for after, or we can do a little risky-bisky. Let's do this. I think this is fine. About the same thickness as well. We're not going too crazy out there in the realm of nutso. Oopsie. Haha. Is that real quick? Sha. 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 We don't want to be super much thicker. Yeah, that's a word I'm looking for, bud. We don't want to be as thick when it comes to the other one. A little bit thinner, just to kind of show why it's being overlapped. Kind of have, again, that kind of little perspective. There we go. And then we can complete it by going back to our line art layer. And kind of just finishing it with a nice circle like so. There we go. And once again, take this away, see how it all kind of looks, like line art wise and stuff, see if it looks clean. Which it generally pretty much does. A few things need some touching up, which is fine. It's a very quick fix. Like right here, for example, we can touch it up a little bit. Take away that. We did miss one little thing here, and that was this part of the neck. Now we can kind of delete a few things, like this here, this up here, like so. Now we can give it a quick looky look. The one thing I don't like is how this looks here. So what we're gonna try and do is just do the opposite. So we're gonna just curve it down like so, because our neck doesn't curve inwards like that. It kind of does, like if you like say like do something like this, and then you do something like that, in which case it does kind of curve, but for her it's a very relatively kind of straight lined neck. What we might do is just kind of maybe boost it up a little bit higher. I can get it eventually, what I'm imagining. There we go. Eventually we will get there. There we go. Call it a day with that. Looks a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then this line here we can just kind of finish. Like so. And that's already kind of completed there, so that's good. Kind of erase this part here. Now we can get Gouda's mouth and her nose. We haven't done those yet, which kind of help us bring the face together. We didn't start with the face. I'm not too sure why. We start with the body. Usually it's the other way around. Usually we start with the face first in my own like little rule book, but for some reason we did not. Which is fine. No problem at all. Nothing like varying some things up. I just hope it doesn't cause me to notice something a little bit too late now. Usually that's why I do the face first, because it helps me notice any imperfections that I had previously. But knock on wood, I think we'll be okay. Get those teeth in there, these little shark teeth. Ah, whoopsie. What? Oh, whoops. It was worth a shot, right? Yeah. What? Nope. I can do a line today, brain. Come on, we did some practice circles. What are you doing? My hands do not want to work. I got no feeling in my fingers. There we go. It's the winter weather. I blame it on that. I'm being sensitive to the cold. There we go. Flatten out that mouth a little bit. All right. Then we can kind of get the tongue in there. Oh, shouldn't have worded it like that. I just kind of get the little lines in there for the tongue. Bam. Now the reason why these are here is just because we're going to kind of color that in a little bit, make it like a thicker. Yeah, we're looking pretty damn good. I think we can just do this little part first. Also do her little pouch, because we kind of forgot that. Well, I didn't forget. We want the little spot where the button is. Little cute little button. And do these here. And bam. All right, and I think what we can do for this is we can put everything on a different layer. And I want to try and get this as close as we did it in the rough as possible here, in one straight line. I'm gonna challenge myself until eventually I give up. So we'll see if I give up or not. We got one. I think it's okay if it gets a little bit thinner, because it kind of, and then it gets a little bit longer here, because it's like I said, it's all perspective. I think we're actually pretty good with that. We can check how it looks afterwards, but for now, let's just kind of get those two done. Kind of complement each other, and then we can kind of see, if is it worth keeping. Like I said, I think we're gonna get pretty far with this. We're at about an hour right now. So each girl, I think, takes about, I would say about an hour and 30. So with only 3 more left, I'd say we're nearing the end of like the basic colors. And like I said, that all depends. So that all is subjective. It could be longer, it could be shorter. It really just all depends on a few little factors. I think we can see how that looks real quick. Oh, I hit the wrong layer. It looks pretty good. Oh, I did notice here. Is this on the line art layer? Yes, it is. And we can go ahead here and delete this portion here. Delete this portion here. Back to our little string layer. Delete these here. And there we are. That looks pretty good. Merge that on down. Now we're going to do the tail. Tail will be relatively simple. I don't think we'll have an issue with that. We're just going to go ahead and take this here. Bring that line all the way down. Just a nice straight curvy line. Straight curvy line. And there we go. That's half the tail done. Now all we need to do is just make sure it looks natural when we kind of curve up here. Maybe add like a little bit of a bump. Kind of just to hide that. And once again, kind of take the little bite marks that she has on the tail. A little bit more pointed, I realized, inside the actual model. So we're just gonna do the same thing there. And they are a little bit smaller. This one's the biggest. Just gonna amplify that a little bit by just making the other part a little bit smaller to emphasize the other portion. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it's included here. It is. Yeah, they end in a point. Well, I like the sick J's, man. It looks like it ends in a point, so we're just gonna do the same. Bring that down there like so. End that in a point. And there we go. Kind of maybe focus that end a little bit. This is a little loose and goose. And for this, we're just gonna go ahead and bring it upwards like so, and we're gonna make it kind of concave inwards slightly, just to kind of show that these two pieces are kind of stitched together. And we can actually kind of have it like feed into that layer like that. Yeah. Do the same here. Whoosh. And have a little bit of a indent there like so. We don't want it to be like super crazy, but we do want it to be like somewhat noticeable like that. Maybe it would work. And then kind of bring it around town. Oopsie. Bring it around. Go. And kind of also make this the same. A little bit of a bump there as like a separation. Maybe bring this down like so. And then continue to doodle it. And then same thing here, we're gonna do what we did for the other thing. We are just going to draw these in this time instead of it being some scratchy lines. That's like a nice saxophone. Sexy isekai saxophone. All right, here. Make this one slightly smaller. Bring it on across. Whoop. Oops. Ah! There we go. Ooh, my apologies, excuse me. I had a burrito today. I gave in. I know we talked about it like, I think 2 streams ago on part 3? Part 3. About my inner cravings to get a burrito. And I give in today. So I got a burrito. And it was heavenly. It was very good. But my body was like, I ain't ready for this burrito, bro. It's been so long since we last had a burrito. And you get the extra large, like, that you didn't even finish. But man, I ate the entire chip and guac, I'll tell you what. Chip guac and some queso. It is delicious. Also, Why so? Behave so? I don't know. All right, got our little stitches on there. I think we'll leave the little fish for later. We'll delete this here because it gets taken over. And there we are. Give that a quick hide, give it a quick rotate, bam, 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 bam. Whip that tail back and forth. I think we're looking pretty snazzy. I don't like the bump that we did. I do not like the bump that we did. I think what we're gonna do, we're just gonna get rid of it. We're just gonna do a line. What else can I say besides you're welcome? There's your tail. All right, time for the eyes. So we're just gonna keep this nice and simple. We're gonna merge this layer. We're gonna merge this. We're gonna keep the face on a different layer, just in case. And we're going to then do the eyeballs. Whoa, okay. Gouda has a very simplistic brow design, which is nice. It's literally just a line. No fancy lashes, nothing like that, but like I said, I think they made up for it with how her eyes look. Because her eyes are very, very detailed. So where we lack in brow, we make up for in eye detail, yeah? I think Kiara was the one with the most kind of, I want to say ambitious, but the most definitely detailed and heavily designed eyelashes slash brow, right? Amelia, I think, has the most... Amelia and Gouda, I think, are kind of tied with the most complex design for the eye itself. Because I know Amelia has like a bunch of like small little specks on hers. I think the girls all have like their own like little cool design though, because then you have Kiara who has a very nice reflection on the eye, as well as that like little skeleton. I'm not too sure if Gouda has this bottom portion. I think it's like a very, very small one, so we don't want to make it too prominent here. And maybe just do something like... We want to make it thick enough that it's noticeable, but not like too bad. I think that's fine. And we can do the same here for her eye. So I don't know what caused Callie's eyes to look weird in my eye. Oh, would you look at that? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word and I can't find it. I forgot what my train of thought was because of that awful pun. I don't know what made it look weird in my eyes. Why they looked off. I think it was just how the pupils were drawn. I'm not too sure. Just how the eye itself was drawn, I think. Because the positioning in hindsight was fine. It was just like once we started getting like the inner pupil and stuff like here is when it started like looking odd in my opinion. Either that or just as a lapse of judgment, I just didn't realize it till the end. So I'm not too sure because it went through 2 phases. So we worked on it twice. So I'm not too sure. If I thought it would look off, I would have noticed it prior. I don't know why I didn't. So I really think it was something that we did in the final portions of it. So I'm just trying to be more careful with the eyes. Because for me, it's like, that's like the biggest part of my portraits are the eyes. I really like doing eyes. So that's why I was so excited to do this. Because it's just so different. And like they all have different kind of eyes. And it's not like the same kind of coloring and everything. Or same kind of technique that I have. Like Kiara was totally different coloring compared to Callie. And Gouda's gonna be the same, Amelia's gonna be the same, like as in they're gonna be different kind of things. Jenny has like a small like little thing at the top of her eye. Let's keep that. But yeah, I mean that's like it's like really cool like flexing this kind of new kind of eye style that these girls all have varying. And her eyebrows are quite like pencil-like, so pencil thin. So we're just going to once again give these a nice little doodle. I'm pretty sure that her and Amelia have like very pencil thin eyebrows. And this one didn't really end in a point, it's more of like a curl. Like so. Make sure that looks good. And do this side. Whoosh. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong thing. I'm also white. Why am I not drawing with black? And then we can just connect the two like so. And call that done. Go ahead and see how it looks. Looks a little rough right here, so we'll fix that. Not like where we connected the lines. The rest looks fantastic. Go. I think we're looking good. Let's just rotate that real quick. So far, so good. All right. So now we just need to get in these portions. So we're gonna just take the eye, and we're just gonna try and follow the little outline that we had, but make it like one continuous circle. Which takes a few tries because of my perfectionist brain. But once we get there, we are fine. Ah. Watch out. Would it help to rotate the layer? Probably. But I'm not gonna do it. All right, something like that. And then we can go on this side, do the same thing. Did we actually get on the first try? Let's hide this layer. I think we did get on the first try. Look at that. Merge these down. And Gouda's kind of sit like right on the bottom portion, as you can see. And like a little bit is actually hidden, but we're gonna try and like show as much of the eye that we can. I have it like slightly hover, like so. And then we can delete this part. Like that. Delete this part here. Like that. Delete this part here like that. I think we're looking pretty good. Let's invert it. Yep, I know we finished with her a lot when it came to her line art. She was kind of like the centerpiece, so that's kind of like your eye usually comes here and then like it spreads out to the other girls. So I don't want it to kind of look bad. And I think we're perfect here. Sweet. All right, so we can go ahead and merge this down. Merge. We're not gonna merge the eyes. We're just gonna start coloring. So we're gonna get our little color folder up. Boop. Call it color. Get up our little background layer. Hide the little fishies. Gonna get our little dark color going on. Again, just kind of get that little dark in the background here, just so we can see if we miss anything. We're just gonna keep it going. We're gonna take a quick second just to get some water. Quick little drink of water for a little break, but we're back. So now it comes to the fun part of getting all our colors. So when we get to the actual like shading phase, what we're basically have to do is also like take like the blush, because Gouda looks like she has like a permanent state of blushing that only gets intensified at some points. So we're gonna keep that in mind when we do the shading process. So we're just gonna get her colors in here. We can always like modify the skin tone after, but right now we're just trying to get the base colors in. Usually like I'll modify everything like after we get to the point. Oh, this one we're gonna need to be very fine with our selection. All right, we have a hole somewhere, so let's do the other side first. So anyways, I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah. So modifying like the skin tone. I usually wait for that during like this shading phase, because that's like when all the blush is added, that's when everything is kind of done, the gradients. So I usually wait for it to be at that point. This is why, it's because we don't have a line, guys. How did I miss that? In here too? What are you doing, brain, Jordan? Don't tell me, did we? We did. We did, we moved it up by accident before we merged it. Whoa. All right, so all we're gonna do, we're just gonna highlight it. We're not gonna transform it so that it doesn't get all gross. We're just gonna move it down, man. I don't know how I didn't notice that. We're gonna go back to where we were. There we are. That was very weird. All right, I have to just reselect a few things, so that's fine. Very quick to do. Not really that much of a hassle. Rehide this layer here. This song is very odd. Let's go ahead and skip this song. There we go. All right. This all colored in, colored in, colored in. Like I said, all we're going to be focusing on right now is going to be the base colors, and then we're going to be moving on to the next line art, just so we can kind of keep everything progressing and moving. All right. I'm curious if this is just like some... Nope, it's supposed to be like that kind of like little tan color. We could also just like take like a large portion, like something like that. Yeah, that's like the same color, so yeah, it's fine. So anyways, we're going to do the hair next, which is like a nice, not so much white, but like a bright silver. Just gonna get that all colored in here. Colored in, because I know the hoodie is white, so we want to make it too bright. Got some natural contrast. Oop, and we have the line bleeding into the line art here. We're just gonna delete that before we do anything else. There we go. Go back to our little selection layer. Fill in our little holes here. Oh, excuse me. Woo. You know, like when you have onions, right? And like, it's been a while since you had them. And like, you breathe in some air. And then all of a sudden, like, you just taste onions. It's like what I'm experiencing right now. Just experiencing onions and that little burp tasted a good amount of onions in that. Not a fan. Not a fan. Onions are nice when they're on when they're like in a meal, right? But eating an onion on its own, it's just not really a thing. And when they come back up on their own, also it's like what are they called? The thing that tastes like dish soap. I forgot what the name was. How old am I? Old enough to drink, I'll tell you that. Old enough to drink. Sorry, I didn't actually see that a little bit sooner. I was kind of concentrating. I'm also trying to think of what the hell this name is. What is the name of it? It's not queso. It tastes like, some people will taste like dish soap for. What is the name? I forget what the name's called. I need to look this up in a minute because it's gonna drive me nuts. I know what this is because I used to literally make it to for some meals. Welcome back, Abstract. We're still drawn. I'm trying to figure cilantro. That's what it's called. I figured it out. Cilantro. Cilantro? Is it cilantro or cilantro? It's one or the other. But I figured it out, man. Like, that has a really bad aftertaste when you eat it. But I think onion's a little bit worse. That's just me, though. I hit my desk a little bit too hard. I full on fist slapped it. That didn't work. That was very bad. The question is, do we want to do the hair now? Fuck it, why not? All right, yeah, let's do it. So, let's see here. So we have a light blue here, another light blue, and then a dark blue. So we're gonna start with that first. So we're just gonna do this clipping layer. And it kind of goes up. I wonder if there's one without her hood. Let's see here. I can find a model. So I can find her model without a hood on. Hey, there it is. I found one. And she looking smug. There we go. Looking smug. All right, so all we're gonna do is take our pen tool. And we're going to just drive it on upwards. We can kind of clean up the lines after. But right now, what we kind of want to get is that general feel. So it kind of curves actually upwards like so. And then kind of goes down, comes back up. I think we need a little bit of a thinner tool for this. It goes down like so, and goes back up. and then comes back down, goes back up a little bit higher. Oop, let's not make it super scratchy. And like I said, touch it up afterwards. We don't kind of want like the general flow here, so we don't make more work for ourselves. Goes down again. That goes down, goes down, goes down. Goes back up like so. Goes down, goes down, goes down. Go away, Discord. I'm not with you right now. I'm not. I'm in don't disturb mode. Interesting. Right, and then goes down, goes down, goes down, and I think we'll just end it here. I know it kind of curves up a little bit. Let's see if we can make that work. Like that. I think that works. All right, and then we can just take our little layer, or take our little big boy. Let's fill it in. It looks like it's like a little bit lighter as it goes down. You kind of get that in there as well. Get everything all set here. A doop-a-doop-a-doo, doop-a-doo. And kind of get everything all colored here. So kind of go from one side to another. So we're kind of start and just kind of like hippy-hoppity between everything. Just keep it going. There we go, there we are. Color down there, get that color down there. Get this all set up and squared away right here. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And we have that, like, that nice like little effect that is up there. And we can get that little gradient going in a minute. Right now we just want to get this all kind of touched up, looking all pretty and nice. Get this all set up here. Want to touch up some of these lines. We're a little haphazard here. I think what we can do to kind of counteract this is just make another line. That continues up a little bit further. Like so. Touch up this line here. Gonna end in a finer point. Like that. Same thing here. Like that. Definitely like this one. It has to be a little bit of a finer point. Like so. And then it looks pretty good. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take away the clipping layer, and we're gonna add our own another little clipping layer. We're gonna get this nice like little light blue. Yeah, a little bit more saturation to it. And just curve it on up like so. We also add a little bit more saturation to it like that. Get our little trusty blur tool out and give it a good blur. And we kind of see that it also gets like a little bit like lighter at the top here. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that as well. Like so. Maybe a little bit less. Let's just have it go like there. Get a little trusty blur tool again and give it a good old blur. And then merge it on down, do the clipping once more, and there we go. That's a little bit more alive. So another thing we have to do here is basically take like that same kind of color that we had for like this very light blue, like right here, which I feel like could still be a little bit brighter. So why don't we take this again, bring it up here, just repeat what we just did for a quick second, which is a little infuriating, but that's fine, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It takes about 2 seconds to fix. And we're just going to highlight this portion, and I think we should actually match, I think, the much lighter blue that she has on another side. Ah, there it is, right down here. It's like very, very light teal, like so. And we can just go ahead and like so. And give it a go fashion blur again. Go ahead and get rid of that layer. Merge it on down, clipping layer once more, and there we go. Now we're looking pretty good. And now we're going to take that same color that we have already. We're going to apply it to this thing. We're going to apply it to this strand right here. It's a very simplistic apply to. It just looks like it just has like this little thing. It actually goes down towards the center, so we're going to do that instead. Very straightforward, very easy, not complex in the slightest. Let's move it, kind of erase it so it ends at the tip, like how it does in the reference. And there we are. Very straightforward. That one's not that odd at all. Now we have our little dark blue kind of going here. We kind of see it goes down, goes up with a big line, goes down in a small little line, and goes down again. And it's about halfway. We're actually going to do this on a new layer, just to play it safe. So we're going to follow it all the way up. Whoops. Trying to stay within the lines. Again, we'll touch it up in a minute. Just want to get like the general flow done. Then it's going to go down. Have a larger incline here. Go down again. Go up. And goes down like so. It ends about like right here. Color it on in. We'll artificially close this line here. Like that. Might have to do a little bit more work here because we didn't do like the small like little scratchies like how we did before. That's fine. Oopsie. There we go. All right. And bring this up here. Oops. Come on. Meow. Something like that. Do something like that. And bring up our eraser just a little bit. Just kind of get more of that erasing going. That eraser action. We can kind of take this line here. Get a little bit more, make it a little bit more thick, you know? Make it a little thick. Perfect. That works pretty well. There we go. Can also go like with the curvature of the hair. I think we are doing good. Now all we have to touch up is this one here. If this one looks like it kind of gets like a little bit brighter at the bottom, still need to do that. And just cruise our way up. Whoops. So, kind of artificially end it a little bit more tighter. So, maybe extend this out, make it a little bit more thick. That. Perfect. Unclip it again so we can do our little gradient. And again, it looks like it has like that like nice like little light blue. It goes up like this and kind of curves down. Looks like it's a little bit, whoops, not a new layer. A bit brighter, something like that. Now eventually get to like that nice like little bottom portion, like down there at the bottom. Once we eventually get there. But we're gonna have to blend it, which is fine. So kind of do its job once we get to the blending, which is now. So we're actually gonna go down, maybe around 12 would be good. We're just gonna kind of blend it from the top down to the bottom, like so. There we go. Flip it layer, and boom. Now we have that part done. The toothpaste is coming together. So next up is, let's see. We have, did I do this backwards? Uh-oh, did I fall for it again? I didn't. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. I got very scared. It looks like I missed a small little detail when it came to her line art. Just this little portion of hair that kind of comes out. Like that. That's fine, because we can just get that colored in real quick. Color it in like that. I'm not a fan how that was done. So why don't we try it again? Change positioning. We make it a little bit smaller, 'cause it's not like it's like huge. So something like that would work. I realize these kind of lines intersected here, so we can delete that. I think that looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get our select tool again. Get our paint bucket. And boop, slap that on there. Now we can get our little color there. Same layer. And boop. This one is just fully colored. Like so. And then this part is like a little bit of a deeper kind of blue. I think it's actually the same blue that we have in the center here. Right there. And it kind of does like the same thing. Like scratchy, scratchy here, scratchy, scratch. So this should be generally pretty easy. Shouldn't be too difficult. We're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna lower our brush tool once more. And we're just going to bring down the scratch. Like that. Up here. Scratchy, scratchy, scratch. Scratchy. Whoopsie. Scratchy, scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch your back. Alright, scratch it. Once again, we can kind of clean this up after we are done. Kind of erasing will be no big issue, to be completely frank. Alright. Bring this up here, color this all in. And it doesn't like there's any kind of like gradient or anything. Like when it comes to this time, it's like one solid color. You may just do like a quick little gradient just to make it kind of vary it up a little bit, but I think we should be fine just leaving it. It's like once we have all the shading done and stuff, it won't look like as, that's what I'm looking for. As, flat? Yeah, that's the word. As flat as everything else looks. Let's see here. Perfect. Kind of ends in a very nice tip anyways, but we kind of just make it a little bit more clean. Same thing here. This one's gonna be the biggest problem, but I mean, takes a quick second. It's a quick clip. Something like that. Trim the edges here. Whoopsie. There we go. And we're getting somewhere, man. I feel like we can make this a little thinner. I feel like it's a little too thick. Give it like oatmeal level. We need to be at like a nice broth. Or thickness. There we go. That's a terrible analogy. And bring that up like so. There we go. I think we're looking good. Now this is where it gets complicated. So we have the dark blue, which still needs like a little touch up right here. There we go. So we have like the dark blue, and it goes to the very light blue. So we're gonna just draw it on the dark blue layer. And it seems like it starts like here. And it goes all the way down. Like so. And it kind of like breaks here. Breaks here. And it goes up. Like so. Goes down. Goes down to like here. Goes up again. And goes down again right in this little hair follicle. Actually, why don't we do this instead? Why don't we start like where it will end? It should be like there, and then we connect it. There we go. That looks good. And it is kind of the same on the other side, so we kind of want to copy it, but maybe have a little bit of a slight difference. I don't want to be complete universal. We can see how it looks though, because I know on the actual art it is exactly the same. We do want to try and be like as original to the, well, original as we can. Or as faithful, I should say, to the original. I think that's better worded. And get that up there, get this all colored here. Oh, there we are. Get that colored down there. There we go. Let's keep getting this all nice and colored here. I just kind of want to get it filled into the portion where you can just kind of freely color it. We don't have to worry about it kind of going outside the lines at all. We don't have to be like super neat, because right now it can kind of be super neat. I think at this point we're fine to just kind of go wild. There we go. And I think we will just copy it over to the other side because it is supposed to be like universal. So I don't want to have like slight little differences in it. I think once we finish this side, we'll just bring it on over, give it a good old horizontal flip, and slap it on that other side. Give it a good old whacking. Alright. So there we are. Looking pretty good to the original. So we're just going to take this nice blue color. Same kind of blue. Undo that. And we're just going to, once again, gonna take it here. It looks like it kind of takes it over about halfway down. Halfway down here, halfway down here. And then after that, it's just fully colored in. Like, do-do-do-do-do-do. Like so. Like so. Like that. Like this. And then we can just fully. Look at that. Look at that. All right. And we can kind of brighten up a little bit, because if you notice at the very ends here, that's where we get a little sneaky beaky. They are kind of fading out. We're going to take our little 50 and just slap it on there. Like so. Then we're going to take our not so heavy one, our 12. Just slap that on there as well. Give it a nice like little merge. Oh, it looks so pretty. And we slap it on that. Bam! Look at that. She's looking good. Now we just take that layer, copy it, give it a good old flip. Bring it on over here. Might have to need a little bit of a merge, a little bit of a rotate. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Bow, bow. All right, something like so, something like so, something like not so, not so, Mr. Oh So. Here we go. Bringing it back to my childhood. Here we are. And then we can just take our little colors there and give them a good old slapping. Boop. Boop. Take our little blur tool, as you notice, because it's a little bit odd here. Get that little bit of a blur. Call it a day. And there we are. We got Gouda done. We could actually grow it a little bit too. Make it grow. Grow. Because with this, it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal if it's a little low res, because the fact is it's just color. It doesn't look that different at all from the other side. You do want to be somewhat symmetrical as well. Let's go ahead and give it a flip. I think we are looking pretty snazzy. All right. So that's a nice like little hair colors done. So what we can do here is now just worry about our little things, little sharky friends up here, or our line. Same thing here. keep it on moving, keep it on going downwards. We can call it, we'll just call it pins. Just so we kind of know what we're going for here. Call it pins, slap those on there, get this nice little color going, get our little select layer. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Once again. Perfect. Once again. Here we go. Keep it on. Oh, you just call it teeth. Call it teeth. You know what we can do? We can combine all the teeth that we're gonna have in this little portrait and put it on that one layer. Try and save up some space. So we'll just get Gouda's teeth. We'll get her little shark hoodie teeth. Oh, hello! Didn't realize that you would do that to me. So here. Bam! Haha. I saw past your ploy. Alright. Put that up there. We got a teethy weethy. Oh. I did not see past that ploy though. Tricked me, teeth. For the last time. Okay. I think that's all the white we have, really. We can check in a second with the reference spec. Oh, Smug Gouda can get out of here. That is gonna be white. The little slobber and here. So we'll go ahead and put that there. We will get the slobber. I feel like calling it slobber is like not what it's supposed to be, but you know, what can you do? You might actually make the slobber the same color as the hair. So you might just do that, just to kind of differentiate it. We need like a white, man. Give me like that nice white. There we go. That white color going. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. And we can get the hair here. The hair I feel needs to be a little bit brighter. We do want to be a little careful. We don't want it to match the same whiteness. There we go. We might just take our little white layer and actually color the hoodie with it. Like I said, trying to conserve some space. That way, too, like when we do the shading, it's all kind of universal looking for the same color. It's not looking different for any kind of other thing. Grab this here. Keep it moving. There we are. And then bring these up here. All right. And this hair kind of goes down like that, so we're just going to go ahead and just color over it because it seems like that's kind of like where it's. So. I think that's all the white that like we really have. Yep. So we will go over here, go to our little teeth white layer, and slap on that white color. Perfect. Now we'll go back to the hair. Go back down to the hair layer. Grab our little selection pen again. Oops. Unless I want to mess it up again. Doop-a-doo. Color the slobber the same color. Boop. And there we go. So, looking pretty good. So we'll have the inner mouth here as well. So we'll have this portion here. And I think we'll color the mouth and just call it mouth, and we'll do both her mouth up here and the rest of it. We'll need to do a little bit of a selection pen here for the bottom portion because it is open. There we are. keep this moving, keep this moving, keep it going. We're making good pace. I think we'll just call this something simple, like mouth. Oh, that's called teeth. That is mouth. Mouth. There we go. Get that colored in there. Beautiful. I did notice this. We can kind of bring this up just a little bit higher, like so. And now for this, we're going to go ahead and just do a kind of clipping tool. We're going to go ahead and color the tongue. She has a pink tongue. And as we mentioned before, the sides of the mouth are going to be like almost like the sides of your mouth. So we're gonna make it like a little bit darker, kind of emphasize that. So we're gonna bring it down to like a very like dark crimson. We're gonna see how this looks. Yeah, looks good, then great. If it doesn't, we can always change it. Looking a little different. Not too sure if it's a good different or a bad different. I think we need to just play with it just a little bit more to find out. Oh, let's go ahead and like make it just like dark, right? Let's just make it like absolutely like. See, that doesn't work. What happens if we make it like a dark red? I think that is what we needed. Sweet. All right. Now, let's get the hoodie. So you got the Gouda line art. Oh, that's right, we have the whole bottom to worry about here, because once again, it gets cut off by our rest of our portrait. There we go. Select everything, because basically everything's the hoodie. Besides this part, which we'll have to delete, and the slobber. Whoops. That's just a quick fix. Just fix that real quick. Like so. Fix the slobber. Like so. Fix this. Like so. There we are. Now we have to just also quickly do the teeth. Like that. There we go. All basically one solid color. Which is nice. There are some differences though, like as we can see, like it gets like a little bit darker at the top, gets like a medium, and it turns to like a white at the bottom. So we have to do some gradient with it, but that's completely and utterly fine. Again, it's very simplistic, but it's also well detailed. Or it just comes like to the gradients and the colors. That brings it all together. Not too complex. All right, get that done there, get that done there, get this done here. Eventually, what we'll probably just do is also fill in this portion here, like the little outline for the little mouthy mouth goes. I don't know what to call it, the fig sipper. All right, so we're just going to take that and let's call this cloth. Oop, oop. Oopsie, there we go. Oopsie, there we go. I think we're looking fashionable. There's one thing I noticed as well that we need for the white layer, and that is to fill in this little portion here. So we're going to just take our white layer. I think it's just called teeth. Yep. Fill that in. Actually, why don't we do it on our hair layer? Kind of have that little contrasting colors, yeah? All we just need to do is just delete this little problematic child. And we are good in the hood. Sweet. All right. Actually, nope. Yeah, that's good. All right. So all we're gonna do is take the color of the cloak, make it slightly brighter at the top here. like so. And maybe droop it on its way down. Kind of keeping that momentum, right? Something like that. Maybe bring up the saturation. Something like so. Not something so noticeable, but something that's definitely different and it adds like a nice like little texture to it. Now we can go ahead and merge it like that. And there we are. Looking pretty good. And down here we know that her sleeves like turn like a very nice white. So we are going to also get that all set up. So that's going to be white there. This portion here is going to be white on the inside, however. Actually, that is the inside, so we're going to do that. This one's not going to be merged or anything, because the fact is, like, where we're looking at it, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Why not? Doesn't hurt, right? If you don't like it, we just delete it. So, what we don't want is it to go into the sleeve. So we kind of want to hug the outside, like so. And just watch it merge in. Like so, like so. Just be a little bit less rough on there. And also, we can probably take this portion here and delete it, because this part wouldn't really be white. It'd be like just like the bottom. So we can go ahead and delete this portion. Oh, that's right, they're all merged together. Well, we're gonna leave it like that then. And we're also gonna just fill in this portion with white. I think we'll merge this stuff together. Or not merge together, we'll blend it together with our little blur tool. We'll, instead of blurring from side to side, we're gonna blur it out. That way it kind of has this nice effect. There we are. And for this side, we're just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do something like that. And we're gonna take our little white and fill it back in. Perfect. Looking snazzy. Look at that. All right. So, next up on the list, I think what we'll do is we'll just get the undershirt done. Let's call it Down in the Undertow. All right. Get this kind of put in there. We got one pun on our color layer. I think that's reasonable. All right. Color that, color that, color that, and slap it onto the undertow. Good. Perfect. That's actually the same color as our little, what are these called? I'm awful with names today. I want to say chords. I feel like chords isn't right. What's your name? What's my name? What's my name? Strings. There we go. I got it. Just give me a second. And I think like these like the same colors as well. So we're just gonna slap the same colors and everything. I get those colored in. A doop doo, a doop doo doo, a boo doo boo. My colors are red and dirty. What is the same thing for the stitches on the tail as well? Fantastic. Keeping my life simple. Here we are. We're just. Oops, that's the wrong color, my man. There we go. That's better. And throw these on here. Oh, it's going on the wrong layer, my man. Undertow. There we go. There we go. All right. Looking fancy, looking fancy. So I think next up we can do is like that little zipper. It's like really like our only layer of black. I think what we're gonna do is just kind of try and our best to trace what we already had. so. Oh, that's the wrong layer. There we are. Slap that on there, slap that on there, slap that on there, and slap that. Slap that right on the floor. Get that. And we're just gonna call this, I don't know, call it outer, right? There we go. And color it. I feel like it's a little less darker than that. What's the kind of coloring for it? I'm actually kind of curious. Is it that dark? It is. Alright, never mind then. Alright, the next step is going to be the tail. So we kind of like see that gets like more and more kind of blue like in the center. So we're going to do that as our default. So what we're going to do is take our little layer. Oh, you don't like me somewhere. Oh, it's because there's no line here. I had it connect to nothing. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now it worked. We're going to just go ahead and do this. And once again, we're going to utilize our gradients and our clipping tool, because it has a multitude of different colors on this tail. So all we're going to do is make sure everything is looking spiffy and nice. Ooh, excuse me. And then we're going to just call it a tail. Slap on our color. We're going to start with our gradient. So we're going to go to our clipping. We're going to go ahead and do this. It seems like it comes out from like the... kind of goes like this. So it like takes up like this entire portion. And it kind of like breaks up into like a V along the bottom. And then it gets like darker up here at the top. Like the same fashion. Just kind of like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and like see like how it gets darker like around like the tips. We're just gonna do that as well. The middle is kind of like this large thing of blue, so that's fine. And I think once we get everything kind of merged on in there, it'll look completely fine. For this, I don't like it. So why don't we move down our little blur tool so we still have that. There we are. And I think like it would probably not begin that far out. It would be like here. And I think that's like where like it would stop. So why don't we go ahead and blur it a little bit more. Oops. Really left this part open though. And we're going to take our little blur tool again, probably bring down the opacity, the size of it. And kind of just move it on up like so. Maybe also move down the opacity just a little bit like that, and I think that looks pretty good. So let's get rid of our little background like that, because now she's basically done. When it comes to having everything fully colored, we just need to do some fine little touches. For example, we have these little strings that need to be yellow. So all we need to do is just grab that, grab our little yellow here. We're going to call it Skirvy. Skirvy. There we go. Alright, make it a little bit more vibrant. Perfect. And then we have like our like little blacks here, so I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to take this little undertow for the outer layer of the mouth, and we're just going to color that with that black for our outer layer. There we go, just like that. I think we're looking good. Oh, we did forget one thing. Take the mouth layer. We're gonna color in these little boys. These little cute boys. We're gonna color these in. We just need to find the mouth layer. Perfecto mundo. Grab that color. Slap them on. Oh, see, slap them on there. And I think what we're gonna also do is take again our little outer layer. We're gonna put the little eyes on because we haven't put the little eyes on yet. And they need to be on there. They're lonely. So we're just gonna take it. Probably about, I'd say 25. And we can just erase the ones that are not inside the layer. We can go ahead and hide it now. There we go. We got our cute little things up there. So, oh, one little thing I did forget. Pretty sure it's the same kind of blue. Yeah, that's a nice blue. Let's not do that little dark gross. We need to do our nails. So we're gonna take our skin layer, create a little clipping layer, clipping group. Just gonna color her nails. I actually did forget to do this. There we are. Keep it going. Something like that. I think we came out pretty well. I want to touch up on a few spots that I saw where it was kind of outside the line. Or imaginary line I set for myself, I should say. So for you, it probably look fine. For me, it's like, it's a pixel over. My inner perfectionist, of course. All right, slap that over there. And I think we are Gucci. Yeah, we got our little nails done. Looks adorable. I think what we'll do as well, because I just kind of noticed this, is we need a little button for this boy. We're just gonna put a little button here. It's the same color as her nails, I noticed. And there we are. All right. All we need to do now is the eyes. So we just need to find a picture of her eyes. Oh, that's a very good picture. I feel like that is what we're gonna get the best for here. Like, this is what I mean by there is a lot of complex kind of things. If you look at it, there's a lot of complex stuff going on in here. And it looks very, very cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the eyeball layer. Or eyeball line art, I should say. Get it all set to get colored into. So just a few selections here and there to kind of get it all within the lines, make it looking nice and pretty. Like so. Kind of get this merged down here. Get the eyebrows up here. These wonderful eyebrows, which I just noticed are the same color as her hair, not her eyebrow, or like the little brows for her eyes. So we have to actually color that a little bit darker, probably. That's completely fine. So all we're gonna do, we're just gonna take that little layer. We're gonna call this a brow, and then we're going to slap our little colors in there. And then what we're gonna do as well, take the same kind of color for the eyebrow. Bring those up there. Perfecto, perfectamundo. Take the same thing here. And maybe also touch up the brow just a little bit because it looks a little odd in some spots. Sometimes our line art lies to us. You don't want this touching the eyeball. Something like that. Keep it nice and clean looking. Same with this. There you go. All right, and what we'll just call, this is nothing. Okay, so we're gonna call this, we'll just call it whites. We'll use this for the whites of our eyes. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. There we are. Cool, cool, cool. See? I keep this like that. I think we are good. Let's flip it around, see how it looks. Good. All right. And we just want to find like the general color, right? So we want to find like the general kind of consensus of what this is. So it seems like this would be like the general color for us. It's like light blue. We'll just call this eye. An eye for an eye. Put it on the eyeball. Throw some color on that baby. And then I think what we'll do next is we'll just start coloring from the bottom up. So we'll take the clipping tool that we have. And it goes like this. Kind of like so. Whoops. Kind of like so. Kind of like so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we'll create another layer here. And it seems like it kind of gets like very, very dark around the middle. So we will kind of move our way across. We'll actually just cover this entire portion. I think what we'll do is just do this. We'll put it behind our previous layer. It gets a little bit darker at the top. Like so. This, we'll obviously be blending this all in afterwards. Right now we're just kind of like setting the groundwork, right? So why don't we try to do this a little bit better, like so. And maybe strain this part out a little bit as well. Like so. And then what we'll do is there's like little specks in here, but I don't want to get there yet. But you can see like she has like little lines here. Right here, like little tiny lines. So let's go ahead and get those lines in there next. Need like a little bit of a softer layer. So it goes like one line like this, another line like that. Kind of, I think actually. Let's do it a little bit different. It's kind of because it kind of comes up from the bottom. And this one kind of comes like this. There we go. And another one. Something like that. Actually, I completely reversed it. I had it right the first time. Have something like that. There we go. And I think this is more like a, I want to say like a multiply tool, but like an overlay tool. Like a screen, I would say. I think the screen would work. It is kind of dark though. So, oopsie, that's not what I wanted. I think what we'll just do is make it a nice dark color and see how we like it. So we'll unclip it, have some horror juice for a second here. More like a darker color. It's like a nice like gray almost, kind of like that. Like a little bit darker. There we go, something like that. So definitely more transparent, like so. And we have in this, see, it looks like little tiny like little blue things that are on like the side. We had layers and layers build with her. So we're just gonna put this here, like this. I'll put another one on the side here, like so. Once again, same thing. Once again, it's gonna look a little nasty, look a little gross, a little grody. But once we get it all blended and blurred, it'll look nice. We just have to get to that point. Right now, we're just kind of trying to get everything else done first. So now, here comes the fun part. So we have to take, what we could just actually do is take our original color and draw a oval should be this central eye, right? Like so. And like so. And we kind of notice that it kind of like it's like darker at the very top, like where these layers would be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get like a nice gradient going on top of just this one layer, and then we're gonna call that a day. Mainly because we don't want it to kind of bleed too much into the others when it comes to being in front of it, because we still want to be prominent. So you can kind of tell that's supposed to be like very prominent. So we're just gonna do this, create a clipping layer, kind of do what we had. So kind of like this. You can still see the outline. It's still definitely there. You can tell that there's something more to it, you know? So and this is when we're gonna start blurring everything, because at this point we're pretty much done. We want to see how it all kind of looks all nice and kind of merged together. So we're gonna get like a nice 30 layer. We're gonna get this all kind of nice and merged up. Same with this boy. Same. Actually, why don't we take it one step at a time, yeah? Why don't we take it one step at a time on both eyes? So we can kind of see it both kind of coming together, both ends. And this layer up here. Probably go a little bit shorter for the side ones, because we don't want to lose that detail of them being kind of curved like that. We'll do this. Hopefully they look good by the end of this. Emphasis is on hope. Because when it's like this detailed, we might have to play around with like colors and stuff, just have it like kind of how we want it to be. But we don't want to look like messy, you know? Then we can also go to this layer here and merge that. Merge this. How are we looking so far? A little muddy, which is what we don't want. We don't want to look muddy. So why don't we increase... Maybe make it like a nice like blue like that. And also maybe lower it a little bit. We don't want it to, maybe also make it grow. I feel like they're a little bit too close. Oh, hello, that was weird. We can kind of take this layer here, like so. All right, so I feel like that's something, like we're getting somewhere. So now we have to get like these little dots. So these little dots, let's see if we can kind of scoot over a little bit. There we go. These little dots kind of has like two major spots. So we have like a big piece like this. Kind of looks like a guitar pick. And this little dot and a little spot here. And then you have like a very light blue. Very, very light blue goes here, here, up here, here. Kind of like that. All we need to do is just take this. We should probably actually fix this a little bit because I don't like how this part looks here. It looks too much like a guitar pick. I want to keep the same size though. Maybe smooth out the edges a little bit. There we go. We can probably make this a little bit smaller. Like so. And copy that, paste it, flip it on over. We want to try and copy it exactly how it is on this side. As close as we can get, something like that. That's kind of what we're looking for. So now all we need is just have another layer and a layers on layers of Gouda's eye. little bit bigger than that. And bring this over here. I think we can just bring down the opacity on those just a little bit so they don't stick out as prominently. And then what we want to do is look for our little lines that we have. Haha. And bring that over. These aren't clipped, so we want to do clipping layer, clipping layer. Oops, we didn't merge that, so we should probably do that first. There we go. There is one thing I noticed with this, and that is kind of a little too out there. There we go. And now I feel like we can confidently make this a lot harder of a color. This is what we have. I feel like we're looking at it pretty good. The only thing that I don't like is that this part is supposed to merge up, this one here. It's supposed to kind of like merge into it, so we might have to blend it after all. So why don't we do that? We want to look at as natural as possible, Something like that. I think that looks pretty good, to be completely frank. The only thing I noticed is that there's like some nice like little bright lines on the outside. So why don't we do that? So I'm just gonna go ahead, find our little lines that we have, and then we're gonna draw right underneath that. I think that's actually at the top. It is. So instead, we're gonna find that layer. We're gonna draw around it. So once again, much like how we did for Callie and for Kiara, we're just going to hug outside. And I have a little place like where our cursor doesn't move, which is like the edge of the eye. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit more vibrant than what we have in the center, because it looks like it's like a very, very bright cyan. I think overall we did very good with the eye. It is a little bit brighter, so we want to go with a little bit more of a bright color. Not so much that it's like white, but definitely to a point that's noticeable. Like that. Bring that down a little. Maybe not quite that much of a neon. Something like that. Now we kind of just clean it up a little bit. It makes sense too to have that kind of like a little bright outline, because it kind of draws it all together, because there's a lot of dark colors in this. Kind of breaks up the monotony. There we go. I feel like that looks pretty good, actually. I think we're looking pretty good on this. I think the eyes look pretty similar to hers in general. I think if anything, we need to just have like a quick brief line right there. So we might have to bring back this layer here. Put it on top of everything. Or actually, because it's supposed to go on the outside. So we'll put it below this here. Oops, unless I'm drawing on that layer. Yep. We'll just do this. And it looks like it goes like an angle like that. I think we got it. I'm very happy with this. Yeah, it looks from the other side. Yep. I feel like we're definitely good here. The one thing I want to check is just our little boys here. We bring up the saturation quality just a little bit more. So we are. And I think other than that, we are good. So all we need to do is just take this like little gray area here, all the way down to our little white area. And we're just going to, once again, kind of get everything all blended together. And I think after we do this, I think we have the general understanding of how I do my base colors. So I think what I'm going to do the rest off stream, just so we kind of can save up some time, because I know we're already on part 5 already. And I feel like it's taking up a little bit too much time. So I think for now we have like a very good understanding of how I kind of get like everything basically done. And then later on, we can kind of return with like a lesser, I want to say a lesser portrait, but one that's like not as intensive. Probably like a Halloween one or something, which is like one character. And we can work on that then, just so you can kind of see like the whole process, because this is taking quite a while, and I don't want to keep on boring you guys, because I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. And, you know, eventually I can only say the same thing only so long until eventually it gets kind of boring. So I think what we can do is that we can end it here. This is a very good understanding of kind of like my whole process. You see me do three other characters, including Gouda. So I feel like this is a very good introduction for our little doodle chats. So I think all we need to do now, before I do end it, is kind of get these little colors in. So if you kind of see here, it's like these like very nice dark blue, which is what we already have for the brow. So all we're gonna do is do a clipping layer. Get that in there. Get that in there. It looks like it's like in the center. So we're actually gonna do that. We're gonna do another clipping layer. We're gonna put this color here. Cancel. We're gonna take our black color, which is the definite black. You can see here. We're going to make that our prominent bottom layer, like so. Just for this portion. Merge that, make this clipping layer once more, and we're gonna take this like nice like little fleshy color, or this like nice little orange. Put this at the end here. Same here. And we're gonna take our nice like little fleshy, like pinkish kind of brown. Put that there, put this here. Delete this little portion here. Delete this portion here. Bring out our blur tool. I think 50 should be good. And just blur it all together. All right. I think we're looking good here. If anything, let me bump up the saturation, see how that looks. You do the brightness a little bit. More of a blend in on the side, just kind of hide the very prominent colors that aren't supposed to be there. Blend in a little bit more. All right, and I think we got that portion done. It's looking very good for the eyes. And all we're going to do next is take our little brow, and much like how we did for Kiara and Callie, we're going to do that little, oh, Kiara has her bottom layer. There we go. We're going to just delete this little portion here. So we're going to grab, let's see. So I'll make sure I did this right. So it's at the very seam on the left side. But it first enters the hair. So what we're going to do, we're going to delete it first. Oh, that's Kiara's layer. Wrong person. So. And delete it like so. Oops. Have to be a little. Back up. So. Delete like so. We're going to go to our brow layer and delete. This one's gonna be a little bit. We'll return to that. Complete. There we go. I want to make sure it's straight here, so we're going back to our little eyeball layer. These are all straight. And for this one, we have to be very kind of just a little delicate, like so. Back to our little eyeball layer. Oops. And do that. And there we are. So far, we have the Gouda, kind of rough, kind of base colors. I wouldn't say rough base colors. Base colors is basically what it's just called anyways. Base colors done. So all we're gonna do is just touch up for the very last thing here. Touch everything up. So the teeth, we need to delete. Mouth, cloth, undertow, the outer layer, the tail. I don't think anything else. The whites probably. Eyes. Oops. I do notice that there's a little bit of skin poking out. That. Delete it. And I think that's all. So now we go up to our little line art here for Gouda. Oh. We have to delete the hair a little bit too because we have a little slobber. There we go. Now it's nice and clean. Perfect. I think right now this is a good place, like I said, to let's just double check. Yep. I think this is a good place to end it for now. Like I said, to just the rest of it will be in the speed art. But I think for now this would be like a good place to kind of have a general cutoff for everything we just kind of did for the past few days. I think 5 parts is pretty good. I don't think we should go over that. Especially as a big project, it's going to take us a lot longer. And it's going to be eventually just kind of boring. Because like Gouda already took, I believe, almost 2.5 hours. So, you know, once we get to like more complex stuff and, you know, get to like the shading and stuff, which won't arguably take too long, we'll probably get like part 6 or 7 at that point. And for me, I feel like that's a little bit too long. So I think what we'll do, we'll save like how I shade and stuff for a later video. For now, we kind of like a very good basis of how I kind of prep for that phase. And we can kind of return back to it later. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone kind of talking in the chat, having kind of fun. And hopefully, I'll see you all next time. For now, have fun. And I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Adios.